take you to another story now live. The One SA movement leader Mmusi Maimane is currently addressing a mini rally at the Constitutional Hill to mark the deadline by which the electoral law should have been passed. Let's go there live now. He's on the podium.
The ANC of Oliver Tambo and so many other people. But it was new. When I left in 2009 or no more, when Van Zyl and many others challenged them to say the next transition, the second transition would be to bring an electoral reform that puts power back to the people, I could see they were starting to reverse back. That's why the ANC of today cannot be trusted with the future of our country. Forget the myth that says there are good people and bad. This contestation is not good versus bad inside the ANC. It's about the fact that we need change. I single out the ANC not because of anything, but because they have the numbers in parliament, and I'm here to send one message to them. When the people of this country, you ignored former President Ntlantla, you ignored former President Mbeki, you are ignoring the people who are crying out saying, give us back our democracy, and therefore it is clear that the ANC is no longer interested in the people, but it is that the people must rise up to bring change. Amandla. But it doesn't speak highly of the opposition party either. Bale bone ba rata fela go nne ba ntse ba re, hey, tia ba konopana. Ha ANC e re X, bone ba re Y. When ANC zigs, they zag. They haven't fought for anything. You know why? Because in many ways they're comfortable. Gumnandi. But I want to challenge them and say this. I want every good man and every good woman in all political parties, in civic society, in communities, in religious formations, now is the time to stand up and say, let us ensure that South Africa thrives above the political system. Now is that time. We need change. Our children are passing at 30% at school. Whose child is going to work after passing of 30%? Whose child? I wouldn't want that for my children. Natalie and I speak about our two girls and our boy, and we know they must pass better. But instead we have a government that says, no, 30% is okay. I'm here to suggest to you that there's a new apartheid that's brewing. And it's an apartheid of those with money and those without money. Because if you have money, you can buy the best education. But if you don't have money, you are brought back into a place where now you will never be able to compete with anyone in an international level. I don't know about you, but I'm here to tell you we need change. Whilst others are struggling without electricity, too many. I was in KwaNobuhle last weekend and they are struggling without water. We need change. And it's going to take ordinary men and women. Apartheid in many ways was defeated by all of society. The political parties played their part, but civic society, religious communities, they stood up. We need change. And I'm here to tell you, or as of today, Agrebar Ballet, Agrebar Sokodis, Agrebar Playla 6 months. Today I'm walking out of here to go into every community in the country. I'll be hopping on a bus, going street by street, house by house, recruiting the best candidates in this country. We are going to get the best 200 candidates who are going to go into parliament. We are searching for 3.5 million votes, and I'm here to tell you, or they are going to work together as an umbrella so that Rico Kenya Chupa and bring change that is led by the people and for the people. As If they don't want to give us a constituency-based system, we will have a constituency-based system, because let the people nominate their candidates. Yes. That's why political parties are about yes, bus to the leader. We want people who fear their communities. Those are the men and women we are interested in, who say let the constituency stand up. I want every NGO, every church, every community to now stand up and say we are going to put up our person. Because I come from the church, I want to tell you, I'm looking for all the Daniels, all the Josephs, all the Davids, all the Solomons, all the people who are going to stand up and say, we are inspired to bring about change in our community. Leaders who are going to look at the future. I want all the think tanks, all the people. It's not time to sit on the sidelines. It's time to say, we can't be spectators when our democracy is being stolen by a few. We got to stand strong, and we've got to bring change in our country. Amandla! Let me tell you what's going to happen when we bring that change. I'm convinced this economy can grow at 5%. And if this economy can grow at 5%, we can hire more people. In 2030, I believe we will have 23 million people working instead of the 14 million who are working now. I truly believe if we get back to communities and ask communities to even focus on their police stations, our streets can be safer, and our MPs will know we must work with the police, with the healthcare, to make sure that every boy and girl and every young girl can walk around the street freely, knowing next. Otherwise, but will deal with the person. You know, schools that succeed are the schools when the parents are involved. First. Let the community lead. Because when the community takes control of the school works. We don't want a principal who is scared of SATU before he's scared of the parents. We want MPs who will walk into a school and say, for my community, in Soweto, in Dobsonville, in the Eastern Cape, in Limpopo, wherever they are, we want a member of parliament who will stand up and say, this principle is not going to serve SATU, it's not going to serve the interest of a few, they are going to serve the community. So I want you to join me. I've had a great privilege of being able to lead here in One South Africa. We built One South Africa because we truly wanted One South Africa. Not a One South Africa for the rich, not a One South Africa for the poor, but truly a South Africa that can work for all, black, white, Indian and colored, a South Africa upon which all men and women can prosper together and live peacefully. That dream burns in my heart. You don't have to look far, but if you follow just my own history, you'll realize I've fought for this. I've lived for it. And I want to say this at the risk of sounding grandiose, I will die for that vision. Those who want to divide us, tell us our problems are because of immigrants, are wrong. Our problems are because our government system has failed. Those who say our problems are because of this race or that race, they are wrong. Because politics of division have never brought about a freedom for all people. They've brought about an oppression of one race against another. That's what we call apartheid. We don't want to repeat that. We want a South Africa that works for all. Amandla! But I realize, or like Michael has explained to you, that they are going to make it harder for independents to get through. We've got to go and fight in communities. I'll be coming to your town. I'll be coming to your community. I want you online to vote. We'll be launching an application where you can decide who must lead you. Not which party, but who. Because I want to come and meet with you. I want to talk to you about the problems of your community. I'll be spending the rest of the next number of months, community by community, house by house, recruiting the best candidates. recruiting the best leaders and building the best communities. How do you equal? Young people, it's Youth Month again. Young people stand up. Young people rise up. You are the ones this democracy is for. You are the ones who must stand up now and say, let us draw inspiration from the history and say it's now our time. If you are a young person and you are not registered to vote, I want to invite you to register to vote. If you are a young person and you know that you want to lead in parliament, I'm going to make it possible that we have youth leadership in parliament that's not interested in fighting intra-party politics, but a leadership that is committed to bringing change in our country. Amandla. I'm going to ask everybody to stand up. I want to close. The struggle is simple. It's the people versus the parliament. And the people. If you truly believe that the way things are going is not good enough, I want to invite you to stand for change. If you truly believe, we're going to fight in the Constitutional Court in the next 6 months, don't worry about that. But come 2024, you are going to see a caliber of men and women all across the country on the ballot that you can vote for directly and say, when we need answers, we need them from you. The parliament is going to tell you, oh, change things. We're going to end up with coalitions, and coalitions don't work. I say, under President Nelson Mandela, they didn't have experience in government. They were most of the time in government, committed to this country. I am saying, give a new generation an opportunity to lead, because when we do that, we can bring about change of leaders of intent and men and women who will take this country forward. I'm tired of us going backwards. It feels like we are going backwards. It feels like we are not heading in the right direction. But I'm here to tell you, the men and women, black and white, young and old, are going to stand up together, go forward, and build a change that will deliver the second transition and a future that works for all South Africans. If you are with me, we will rally together under the slogan that says, Amandla Ngawethu, Amandla Ngawabo, all power to the people. Let us bring about that change, and I will see you in the streets of Soweto, of the Eastern Cape, of Durban, of Limpopo, all across this country, to make sure we truly fight for a South Africa that works for all. God bless South Africa. God save South Africa.
While pushing for independence to be voted for directly, saying that the community should lead. Mmusi Maimane is saying that over the next couple of months he will be rallying in different corners of South Africa to ensure that independence, there are more communities that would want to be voted for, and that the coalitions, of which some analysts believe is what will remain in South African politics. He says that that simply does not work. One SA movement leader, Mmusi Maimane, and others at Constitutional Hill marking the deadline by which the electoral law should have been passed. Let's take